Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope your day is off to a fantastic start. Let's continue on with the best of 2023. And today we're going to tackle my favorite category. It's skincare. I am such a sucker for skincare, you guys. Honestly, out of like all the fun, frivolous, completely unnecessary beauty junk that I blow my money on, I think that for me, actually one of the best investments has been skincare. I don't think that you have to have a super expensive skincare routine. I like to play around with a lot of different products, so I'm using a lot of skincare at different price points. I do that because that's kind of what works for my budget, but I don't think that you have to approach skincare the way I do. So with this video that I'm sharing here today, which is my favorites, obviously from 2023, I am not telling you that these are going to be the best products for you necessarily. I'm obviously going to tell you what my skin type is, and maybe if we share the same skin type or the same issues or concerns, some of these things might be worth looking into by you. But I'm not saying that this particular routine of products here is going to give you the exact same results that they gave me. It's really going to vary from person to person, and this is the thing that I think I actually really enjoy most about skincare, is that it really is a journey and not a destination. Like, you're always gonna kind of have to like take a look at what you're using, seeing how your skin's responding, and if things aren't going well or if something seems to have stopped working, you might just need to change formulations. You might need to try a different brand. You might need to try different ingredients, right? Like I think this is kind of the fun in skincare for me. It's just figuring out what my skin responds to and just playing with that. Like I find that fun. I've joked about this before, but like I don't blow money on expensive handbags. I don't blow money. I drive like a Dodge Caravan. I drive a minivan, and it was used. It was like a rental return. I don't spend money on a lot of other things that I think a lot of other people value spending money on. For me, I like spending money on skincare. I see some great results from it, makes me happy, helps me with the self-care, helps me kind of boost my mood when I'm feeling down. For me, skincare is really a self-care thing more than anything else. One of the things that I also think skincare has really benefited me in terms of like what it's done for me is that it's really helped to kind of boost my confidence. Honestly, I can remember being in my early 20s and I would constantly look in the mirror and just be so unhappy with my skin. It was so congested, so many blackheads. I would break out from time to time. My oil production was out of control. Like, I still complain about my oily skin now, but it is nothing like it was in my 20s. I remember just being so unhappy with my skin, and I didn't know how to fix it back then. I was a teenager in the 90s, so the way that I approached skincare was with all of the aggression that I could. So I used not only Noxema as my cleanser. Do you guys remember Noxema? I used Sea Breeze as a toner. I used the St. Ives Apricot Scrub like it was going out of style. I think I could have bought stock in the company back then. I probably kept them in business. I was scrubbing everything all the time. I was using benzoyl peroxide. I would just spread benzoyl peroxide, which my skin does not react well to at all. I would spread that all over my face just in the hopes that it would clear up my blackheads. And nothing ever worked, and it just made everything worse. And I hated my skin. I just did. It wasn't until I got on YouTube and I actually discovered Paula's Choice that my skincare routine really changed. And that was like in my early 30s. It was around the time that I was like pregnant with Stella. So 2011, 2012, that was when I really started my skincare journey. And boy, has it been such a game changer for me. I think my skin really does look better now at 45 than it ever did at 20 or 25 or even 30. I'm just really happy with this little skincare journey that I've been on. You know, every once in a while I have to reevaluate what I'm using, but that's what's fun about skincare is like, it's easy to change things up. It's easy to move things around. And if you're consistent, the key is consistency. Listen, you can buy all the fancy creams, potions, and whatever else you want, but if you're not putting them on your skin consistently, you're not gonna see the changes. Yes, there are some things where, you know, certain skincare concerns have to be addressed in office, either with a dermatologist or, you know, maybe like a med spa or something. But for the most part, skincare is something easy you can do at home. There's lots of affordable skincare out there. I don't tend to purchase the most affordable products myself, but that's because I'm at a place in my life where I have the budget to try different things. I don't like overly splurge on skincare. I do watch my budget when it comes to that to some degree. And every once in a while, I will buy something a little bit more expensive. For example, when it comes to devices, I don't mind splurging on devices because I use them consistently. And again, I have seen great improvement in my skin as the result of my at-home devices, which, by the way, there is a device video coming next week. So my favorite skincare devices from 2023, if you're curious about that. But yeah, anyway, we are gonna go through my top skincare faves from 2023. And it was really kind of interesting, like looking back on it and seeing like what I used or reached for the most, I guess, and what really had a super positive impact on my skin. Now, just because these products work for me, your skin type may be completely different. Listen, if we share some similarities in terms of you being oily, maybe you deal with sebaceous filaments, maybe you get blackheads easily, things like that. Some of these things may well be a good fit for you. But if you have dry, irritated, sensitive skin, I'm not sure that I would say take my advice in this department because I have a complete polar opposite skin type. This is like rhino hide. I can do a lot to my face and it just never really reacts. So I can go a little bit more aggressive, but again, I don't think you have to be aggressive with skincare. So that's a little bit about my skin. And in full disclosure, I always let you guys know if I like do anything to my skin in terms of injectables. So this is where I'm at with injectables right now. 3 times a year, I am going to see my my injector, and she does 40 units of Xeomin in my forehead, and she does 15. I think it's. Is it this side? This side gets 20 units of tox and this side gets 15 unit of tox. I do tox my masseter muscles. That's not for a beauty reason. It's because I have ground my teeth into an oblivion with stress in my life. And so, yeah, that's not a beauty thing. But in terms of tox in my face, the only place that I get it for beauty purposes is my forehead. I have a very expressive forehead. It moves like crazy, and I just don't like the makeup pooling and collecting in my forehead lines. So I can go to get the tox injection 3 times a year. The longer that I've been doing it, the longer I go between treatments. So it kind of works well for me. I'm not saying you have to go out and do Xeomin or Botox or Dysport or Jeuveau or whatever, you know, whatever other type of tox is out there. If that works for you, great. If you are like, that's poison, then that's great too. Then don't do it. I love it. I currently have the budget for it, so I'm gonna keep doing it this year. But anyway, without further ado, I wanna share these favorites with you guys. I will list and link them in the description box down below. If you do wanna read up more about these products, ingredient decks, price points, other people's reviews, check out the description box. Let's get into it. I will try to be brief, because none of these things are going to be new to you. I will start with the beginning of the routine, so the cleanser part, and then I will end with a moisturizer. So let's get into it. First of all, first cleanse of choice, not gonna be any surprise based on the number of these that you saw in my empties this year, or I guess I can say last year now, it's 2024. This is the Pharmacy Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm. Now, I think also one of the other reasons that I do always purchase this one is that I'm a pharmacy partner. So I do have a discount code with them. It's for 20% off. And whenever I want to like reorder something from pharmacy, I use my own discount code, so I get a pretty decent deal on these when I go to purchase them. I'll usually get like a couple at a time. This smaller one I thought was nice because I thought I could pop this in my travel bag and I can easily refill this one. It's kind of the perfect amount of product. So if you're gone for like a week, you know, you'll have more than enough in here. But this takes everything off at the end of the day. Makeup, dirt, oil, SPF, and I'm a loyal SPF user. If you don't bother with any of this stuff if you're not going to use SPF. That is like my biggest thing when it comes to skincare. I have girlfriends that just refuse to wear SPF, but they are paying for like the Lancome, what is it, the Genifique or whatever that is. They pay like a ton of money for like these very specific like targeted treatments, but then like they're out all summer like tanning their skin, and I'm like, ladies, what are you doing? Like they're just, I like the tan. I know I'm not supposed to, but anyway, wear the SPF, you guys. Otherwise, don't bother with the skincare. Like that's my one like hard and fast rule, and that is the one thing that I am like drilling into my daughter is protect your skin. We also come from a long line of skin cancer on my biological dad's side of the family, so yeah, I don't mess around with the sun anymore. I wish I wouldn't have messed around with it when I was younger. But anyway, first cleanse. This one takes everything off, does not irritate my eyes, takes off waterproof mascara. It's just fabulous. It's the best. It's the very best. I'll never be without you. And I like that I can get it for 20% off. I'll put my discount code down below. If you want to order anything from pharmacy at any point, you don't have to order it now or anything now, but you can use that to save at least 20%. Also, the cleanser. Listen, I had several of these in my empties, which is why I opted for this one. Now, I could have also put the Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Pore Perfecting Cleanser. I really love that one too. But honestly, like this one was just as great. This is the whipped greens from, again, Pharmacy. It's oil-free. It has moringa and papaya in it. This is great because I have oily skin. So this has a little bit of a creamy foaming action. I like to use this with my Clarisonic. Yes, I'm still using my Clarisonic. Am I gonna give it up anytime soon? No, not unless she dies. I really hope she doesn't die because I bought a lot of like of the replacement heads. I would be so bummed. I mean, I guess I could like sell them online somewhere, but anyway. Moral of the story is I like to use this with my Clarisonic. Whatever this leaves behind, which really isn't very much, this will take care of it. And it does it without leaving my skin feeling squeaky clean, so it doesn't remove all of the oil from my skin, which is really, if you have oily skin, stop doing that. Stop trying to dry your face out. It took me a long time to get that through my very thick skull. I tend to be stubborn about some things. And once I like learned that I actually need to moisturize my oily skin, oh man, what a game changer. Like, I was silly for doing what I did before, trying to like dry it out. Of course, it makes sense that if I'm gonna dry everything out here on the outside out, that like, you know, my skin on the inside would be like, oh, what is going on up there? Like, send hydration, ramp up the oil production, right? And then I was left greasier than before. So anyway, that's a great gentle cleanser, would recommend. Okay, masks. Listen, I didn't do a ton of masking this year in terms of like, you know, masks that I would like spread on my skin. But I did still go through a number of these City Beauty Line Smoothing Hydra Masks. I do not pay full price for these. A box of 5 is like 60 bucks. I buy these when City Beauty is having their 40% off sale. I wish these were less expensive, but for me, I find that as long as I just wait for a sale to come around, these are worth splurging on. I use one a week. Typically on Sundays when I do my little spa day, I just put this on after cleansing my skin. It plumps my skin up. It literally makes it look like $1,000,000 after I'm done using it. It reduces the look of my pores because it's such a surge of like hydration in the skin, and then also the other skincare I put on top of it. It just makes me look so youthful, and I love that. I wish I could afford to use this every single day. If I could, I would. I would go through like a box a week. I cannot, but as a once a week splurge, yep, hands down. The last time that they had a 40% off sale, I absolutely bought another 2 boxes. So there's that. Toners. I have a lot of toners that I loved last year. I could have probably put 15 in here, but the reason that I'm including this one is because I really like to actually use this before I do my red light therapy. So to help with any oxidative damage that can happen from red light therapy, I like using the Isntree Green Tea Fresh Toner to kind of help to counteract that. Green tea is full of antioxidants, and this one is fairly inexpensive. It is hydrating to the skin, but somehow it's also really good for oil production at the same time. This is just a fabulous product. It has a light, like natural fresh tea scent to it. I love this. I've been through multiple bottles. I also use the serum. I still love my Maysama Green Rooibos Pressed Serum, but that is a little bit more expensive. If that is out of your budget, if the Maysama is out of your budget, check out this Isntree green tea line. This product is fabulous, and if you're doing red light therapy, you should think about doing or putting on some of this about 20 to 30 minutes prior to doing your red light therapy. I do really think that it has been beneficial, but just as a toner, just on its own, even if you're not doing red light therapy, it's a great toner. I love toners. I don't mind multiple steps in my skincare routine. I have a lot of steps in my skincare routine. All right, so I have some targeted treatments here that I went through pretty aggressively, and so I'm gonna share these. First of all is the Pharmacy Brighten Up 3% Tranexamic Acid Dark Spot Toner with azelaic acid as well as PHA. So this is good for a whole host of skin problems. The one that I actually found this works the best with is my freaking melasma, which because of the sun and hormones, those are my triggers. It only shows up on my forehead, and it shows up as like stripes. Like there's literally sometimes stripes that go across my forehead. Super obnoxious. Now, I love hydroquinone. However, you cannot be on hydroquinone on any kind of ongoing basis. You have to cycle with it. I have a prescription that my dermatologist gave me. I think it's like an 8% hydroquinone. Man, that fixed my skin fast. It really did. But you can only use it for 3 months at a time. And we all know that melasma can flare up. So in between, you know, the hydroquinone treatments, I have found that so tranexamic acid and azelaic acid together do a fabulous job at keeping the melasma from looking too crazy. Does it take the melasma away as efficiently and effectively as hydroquinone? No. No, it does not. But it keeps it to where it's easier for me to actually cover it up with my makeup if I feel like I want to do that. This is gentle. It doesn't dry my skin out. I think this is one of the best products that Pharmacy has put out. I really like their vitamin C as well, but man, this product here, game changer for me. Paula's Choice. We've got a couple Paula's Choice products here, so let's just talk about them together. These are my 2 holy grails. I will never be without these. I'll constantly reorder them, especially this one here, the 20% niacinamide. This is the niacinamide 20% treatment with acetylglucosamine as well as purslane. This is a very high percentage of niacinamide, and I know there are people out there who say that you should never use anything above 5%, and those people are great. If 5% works for them, they should use 5%. But don't tell me that 5% is gonna like do much for my skin. I know my skin. We all know our skin. You know, like I think it's great to take advice from people on the internet. Like I use the internet to get advice from a lot of different areas. but also it just depends on what your skin reacts to. I started with 10% with Paula's Choice, and I do think it made a difference on the overall like look and texture and just the look of my pores. Like it helped to reduce them. But when they came out with the 20%, I bought it right away, and holy moly, was it a difference from the 10%. This made my pores look the best they've ever looked. Do they still exist on my face? Yes. Yeah, like I have them. Everyone has pores. But this makes them look a heck of a lot better. It's worth every penny. And I went through multiples of these last year, and I will continue to. And they're BHA. This is how I keep the sebaceous filaments at bay. This is why I no longer break out with blackheads. I bought my daughter a bottle of this. She has it in her bathroom. It is the one thing that I'm just super like on her about using. She's a little lazy with skincare. She's gonna be 12 in February, so she's getting there. She's starting to understand the importance of skincare. But she was born with her mom's skin. Bummer for her. But this, game changer for the blackheads, game changer for breakouts that I deal with. And it's the same for her. If she uses it consistently, her skin looks so clear, but I can tell when she's getting lazy with it. I can also tell when she's picking on her skin, but anyway, this is not about Stella. But I love that like now Stella's getting to the age where she's like, hey mom, can I talk to you about skincare? It melts my heart. Anyway, this, if you struggle with congestion, clogged pores, try it. It's so worth it, you guys. This BHA is the most gentle, the most effective, the best that I've ever used. I also went through several bottles of this, which is why it's getting popped in here. It's the Glow Recipe Niacinamide Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. I love this stuff. I went through a couple of big bottles. This is my like third one this year, and this was just a little like smaller guy that I had, and I'm almost done with him. When I got to the half point of this one, I actually went down to Sephora and bought like another full one. So I for whatever reason, I've decided I can't live without this. I think it just makes my skin really smooth. It almost acts as like a primer. It has some moisturizing properties to it. It's just a great fit for me in the morning. I love this product. I put it all over my face. I put it all over my neck. It's soothing. It's hydrating. It has that delicious, really, really light watermelon scent to it. I just love these. Will not be without them. I still have a top 5 coming up from Glow Recipe as well, so stay tuned. I need to still continue that top 5 series. Okay, and Tretinoin, yes, of course, duh. I have been on Tretinoin now for 4 years, maybe 5. Gosh, has it been close to 5 years? I think it's been, but I wish I would have started earlier. If you're in your early 30s, ooh, I think it's worth starting this earlier in life. Oh man. Tretinoin is not only going to help you kind of, help produce some collagen in the skin. It helps with surface cell turnover. It helps with the overall like tone and texture of your skin. It can help with melasma. Although this on its own never like took my melasma away, but this actually works better oddly enough on my melasma than the Tretinoin does. But I did actually have Tretinoin in my hydroquinone formula as well. But what a game changer. I love this. Now I don't get this from a pharmacy up here in the States. I have a lot of friends that like to travel to Mexico for vacations. Mexico, it's a warm location, so it's not a place that I'm really gonna be excited to go vacation at. I prefer the cold weather. I don't know, I feel like a trip to the North Pole would be a more appropriate vacation spot for me personally. But anyway, most of my friends like warm weather, so they go down to Mexico pretty frequently. I just give them 40 bucks when they go, and they go to the pharmacies in Mexico where you can get this over the counter, and they usually buy me at least 2 boxes. It's pretty inexpensive down there. I think my last box had a price point of like $17.99 or something on the box. I don't know, like dirt cheap. Dirt cheap compared to what we pay for this at our pharmacies up here in the States. Now you can use things like GoodRx to save a little bit of money on Tretinoin, or you can go the route of like Muesli, Curology, Agency. I have had a number of those different companies reach out to me about partnering specifically with Tretinoin, but I don't know, I like using this. Like, I don't want it compounded with anything else. Like, I have all of my other skincare. I just wanted the Tretinoin. Now, I use 0.05%. If you're just starting out, I would start at the 0.025%. But yeah, it's great. And if you happen to travel to Mexico, or you know people that do, yeah, you can go into a pharmacy down there and just buy it. And it's so much cheaper. I don't know why we have to charge what we do up here. Oh, I do know why. I love American healthcare. All right, dermatology. Listen, this eye cream here, man, I have fallen in love with this. Now, this came out towards the latter part of this past year, but I have not been able to stop using it. It's fabulous. This is the Dermatology HPR eye cream. This is a retinate eye cream. So one thing that has always been tough for me with like retinol type eye cream products is that they tend to dry out my under eye area, and then it gets flaky. Usually it kind of normalizes after some time, but I still don't love that. So this is the first one I've ever used that does, one, there's no milia. This does not clog my pores. Two, it doesn't dry my skin out. It looks so good. Like, I love my under eye area. Sometimes it's a little bit puffy because, you know, crappy sleep and stuff, but that skin under there is smooth. Still pretty wrinkle free, but I think that also has to do with the fact that I have oily skin. I don't get tox around my eyes, by the way. I feel like that would be weird. Like, for me, I think it would really affect my smile, so I'm not willing to do that. But oh man, this, if this can help to keep the wrinkles kind of from coming in a little bit more slowly as I get older, I'll keep buying this. So I do have a 20% off discount code with Dermatology, so use that if you want to. But this eye cream here, yeah, fabulous. Love that. Okay, like I said, don't bother with skincare if you're not going to use SPF. I mean, do what you want. Do what you want. I just think it's really important to protect your skin. Like, just knowing what I know about skin cancer and how aggressive it can be and how just deadly skin cancer can be if you catch it too late. Like, I am just not willing to mess around with it. I do think it's important to get some sun. You know, obviously you need the sun to survive, you need the vitamin D. But I try to stay out of the sun as much as I can, and I protect my face every single day, even if I'm not leaving the house. And this is still hands down gonna be my favorite from this past year. It's the Paula's Choice Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense Broad Spectrum SPF 30. It's the best every day that I've ever used. It's zinc oxide. It's fabulous. It works for my oily skin. That makes it a miracle. I love that. And if you have struggled finding an SPF and you prefer a mineral, that's the best mineral that I've ever found. I do think that the Dermatology Physical Tinted Moisturizer SPF 44 is also a really great one. This one does give you a little bit of a glow, and it has a tint as well. This one is tinted, but no glow. So, I don't know. Pick your poison, but either one is a great option. I prefer this one if I'm heading outside because it has a slightly higher SPF, but they're both great. All right, let's talk moisturizer of the year. Listen, moisturizers for me are kind of interchangeable. I actually had a hard time picking one out, but when I really looked at how much I had gone through the different moisturizers that I had out that I was using last year, this one I seem to use the most of, and it's also one of like the newer ones. So I feel like that just goes to show you that like something about this obviously spoke to me. This is the Alpine Beauty Super Peptide and Ghostberry, Ghostberry Barrier Repair Cream. Why are my eyes going out? Add that to the list. I do need to go get an eye exam. Ugh. Anyway, this is fabulous, you guys. I love using this in conjunction with my Tretinoin. If you find that you're starting to get really dry using Tretinoin, get a thicker, richer moisturizer like this one here and use it after you apply your Tretinoin. You can always even put a little bit of this on first and then your Tretinoin, and then do like that sandwich method where you go over top with the moisturizer again after applying the Tretinoin over the moisturizer. that is definitely going to help with any irritation issues that you might have. But this one here just really hydrates my skin beautifully. It doesn't clog my pores, doesn't have an overly aggressive fragrance. I'm talking fast because I know I'm gonna get caught off here in a second. Yeah, there's no aggressive fragrance. It's just a great moisturizer. It's a really good one, would recommend. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I know this video was a little bit longer, but I could talk about skincare for hours. Let me know what your favorite skincare items from 2023 were in the comments down below. Let me know if there's anything I need to try this year. Check out the description box for the links, and I appreciate you guys being here. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bless you. Toodaloo.